Uh, I'm using a different prop. I think this is going to work better, actually. I'm a little bit late, but Pindar was in the other chat, and I didn't see Rachel, and I know in Smelly Land it's not even 6 o'clock. And I are in no hurry. Hello, Ronnie. How art thee? I'm a little bit later than my usual, but, I was in another chat. Hello, Smelly. Well, yeah, it's Carlos. He's been going around chats for days. Well, like I said, it's Carlos, and I don't go but in a few people's chats, and if people aren't smart enough to look at the account, well, that's on them. Well, we're going to have more fun here. Just saying. Well, yeah, I already know. I didn't know exactly which chats, and I don't really give a shit either. I mean, like I said, if the mod team is too stupid to look and see it's not my account, they're not too smart to begin with. And the only thing is just point out it's Carlos. And over time, people get tired of his shit, and every place will just start banning him. Now, I've got a lot of lag, just to let you know, because it's actually taking a lot of time to pop up on this screen from that screen. My sides are hurting. They are today. So I'm going to sit here and smoke a little bit. And I feel bad. Now, I got a lot done today, and I said I was going to sit around today, and I didn't. And I'm feeling it now, and I'm wishing I would have sat around. But, well, I did get shit done. Oh, God, I feel bad, but I'll get over it. Now, I did make a lot of shit for the game, and, well, it's my condition. Well, my original condition, from where I had birth, and, my abdomen's all fucking swollen over here. But, it's as it is. Well, you will be back eventually. We all will be back eventually. I'm just kind of seeing if Rachel or Pendar comes in now. Pendar was still in Nicolina's chat, and I just quietly came over here. I am pretty tired, but yes, I'm hoping that Pendar will hop over here, and maybe Rachel will show up. If not, it's just me and you, Smelly. Well, I don't really have much to do in chat really at the moment. Yeah, that'll be the thing about this channel is we'll be a lot more talkative with each other. I know what I need to do. I need to hit this and stop just looking at it. You don't take that you pack a ball and think it'll make me feel better, and then you just sit and hold it. I know what I need to do. I need to take a couple more of these. I took some earlier, but I just need to take the edge off. Now tomorrow, the only thing I'm doing is taking care of the animals and making me dinner. Because I think I overdid it today is a part of my problem. And that's all my fault. I worked half the day and then took half the day off, but I shouldn't even have did that. Well, I can relate to the legs feeling like crap. I did the walk yesterday, and I've actually found out that rubbing my feet for a long time after when I first get back seems to help a lot. But apparently it helped me so good that I, did about 6 hours of stuff around the day. I couldn't sleep I slept last night earlier, but woke up way earlier. So I actually got less sleep. So, it was morning, it was cool, I felt I could do it. So, I worked till about noon for about 4 hours around the house and then did a couple hours later on, and I'm wishing I wouldn't have. Well, Smelly, I'm going to give her about another 6 minutes, and then it's just going to be me and you then. If you have anything you want to run and do. Oh, man, I need to see the foot doctor, too, and he's going to go, ah! Fortunately, all it will take is you against one super thingy. Should be easy to come up with something to do. Okay, here's one of my books. What I do with the other one? You're not it. Okay. What did I do with you? Now, that was the other thing, too. I picked up and organized shit today. And now I can't find. Okay, here it is. I put my bread bag on it. The cats will destroy the bread, so I have it hidden in a bag over here, and I'd set the bread bag on top of it. Okay. Well, I'm glad I don't drink coffee. I mean, it sounds difficult. I'm hearing a dog. I think it's the neighbor's little dog and her small dog. Oh, I know what I need. Damn my picking up. Okay, there's that, there's that. Okay, there's that. There's this. Anything I'm getting here. Yes, there's that. There's some of the other. and every fucking thing but what I need. Ah ha 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 ha, madness. Okay. Is it deep, 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 deep down there? Maybe. Hmm. Well, Smelly, I understand the finding it part. I'm missing something myself. Okay. What I didn't this time, well, last time I had everything all set up ahead of time. And today I didn't. I allowed myself to get distracted. Bad, Roger. Well, we can wing it. We can wing it. Literally. This is my rolling thing. Oh, there it is. There it is. It just got lost in the middle of the snack. YouTube is evil. Now, YouTube getting closer to the election is going to become more of a shittier place. Just saying. Well, there's just me, you, Smelly, and I guess me, you, and Smelly, because I'm in here on. No, I'm on my Thanatos account. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm on my main account. So nope, it's just the three of us in here. Because I are a guest. In fact, the only wrench in here is Smelly. Well, I understand that. Now, I have found out sometimes you gotta eat something different just to make your regular diet better. I realized that when I got some ham. You know, I hadn't had pork in so long, and I really like beef over ham, but it was just nice to have some ham for a change. Well, I know Smelly. I knew how it is. You know, it's like until I starved. You know, the thing is even through all the starving, I'm still a pretty good weight. I mean, the amount of meals I miss. You know, the reality is the going hungry never ends. Even if. Now, my body wants something sweet because I don't buy myself that, and my body craves sugars. It's like now that I've actually had food, you know, my body wants something like caramel popcorn. Anything sweet sounds good. Well, I just look at the table of contents. Well, where is the table of contents? Okay, here we go. where was it? I hate when they don't put something in the table of contents. Yep, I'm not doing good today, seriously. I think it's the pain in my gut. It's making it hard for me to focus. Hmm. Well, it's not in the normal animals. Well, there's only, on this channel, it's only going to be a few of us here any time. This channel's more like a conversation. Oh, man. I'm hoping that ibuprofen kicks in quick, because damn. I feel like I've been, well, actually being punched in the gut feels preferable. I'm definitely, when I find the page of what I'm looking for, I'm definitely going to memorize the page number. Was that what I was having to use for your super chain? Because I was looking up the cost of your bug, and I thought it was all in here already, but I guess I was using a different stat. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is probably it, and it would have similar to probably more to that, and it would be well, I actually think that I do better with aspirin, but with the shortages, when I bought the ibuprofen, that was all that they had. Now, it did pretty better, I think, on the tooth pain, but on this gut pain, it's not really making me a happy camper. Just saying. Okay, so this here, I'll do that later. Okay, here, put that to there. Now, since it's just me and you, Smelly, and you had just transported into Pindar's world. Now, unfortunately for you, when you got there, all of a sudden you hear fighting in the trees, and two Tyrannosaurus Rex are fighting each other, and you all are forced to flee in different directions. So, once again, remember how I said if someone's not here, it won't be a problem? I will just find a way to story around them. So, since it's just you and everyone was standing here, I'm using two giant T-Rexes, to fix my problems of the other two players not being here at the moment. Because normally I would give you options of what to do, but we're just doing this to temporarily write the other characters out just for this adventure. So you're doing the lost in an alien world. Now, while you were getting out of there, the wizard was not conscious yet, and you were able to pick up the wizard's body and you were able to hop off. Neil. Oh, it would help if I got the dice out, didn't it? Didn't it? Because I needed dice to play the game, because reasons. Because you got to do. Okay. Now, you hop away, and you're in the trees, and you move a few times, but you notice something. Something's following you. You keep catching the scent of something when the wind is right. Yeah, because if I'm going to throw two giant T-Rexes, yes, you're automatically going to be able to get away. That's going to be no problem, because the T-Rexes are just my way of separating you from the other characters so you can do your thing, because I'm here as the wizard. The wizard was unconscious. And the wizard is also a pathway home for other adventures. Well, the wizard is starting to come conscious, and gotta make it. Oh shit! And he falls out of the tree. He rolled an 18. So yes, unfortunately, the wizard woke up and he just fell out of the tree. Are you going to try to do anything? I know that'll be one thing in gameplay. We'll have to do like a spaceship and wait through the lag. Well, Smelly, the wizard is just falling out of the tree and he's about to hit the ground. Okay, the wizard hits the ground and he knocks himself back out. So, the wizard is on the ground and you are still in the tree. Well, Smelly, you may have missed what I said, but he woke up and he fell out of the tree. He had to roll a dexterity roll, and he rolled 3 6s. So he has now fallen out of the tree, and he is now unconscious again on the ground. These things happen in the game. Now you see, like a superhero movie, everything is so polished. As you know, reality isn't that way. So yes, the wizard's on the ground unconscious, and now you make your perception roll, and you definitely smell something, and it's icky. And now we'll have to buy you some enhanced hearing at some time, but you're definitely hearing a big giant buzzing sound. Wow, that's interesting. No, you got a 30, so you're going to be a little bit. Let me see. 10. And you're. Actually, more like a B. Now, ironically, you did get a bit of foresight because under the tree, walking toward the wizard, is about a 10-foot tall humanoid beetle with a giant battle axe. And you actually feel ionized air. And then you're shot with lightning. Now, fortunately for you, I'm pretty sure I bought you missile deflection. So you were able just to deflect it. Now, the way you do missile deflection is by cat's luck. You remember how the old joke of cats have 9 lives? That's how you get your missile deflection. It normally should have hit you, but because of your cat-like luck, it didn't. Well, there's a giant beetle down below you, and flying above you is a bug man. And there's apparently his hands is glowing electricity. And they both are very ugly. And it's your move. So you've got the flying bug, and then you've got the beetle down there that's walking towards the unconscious wizard. What's the beetle's name? Now, you do notice that the lightning bug is pretty quick. He's quicker than anything that you have seen at this point, but you think you're still a little quicker than him. Oh yeah, it has to be bots. Oh, I'm sure that Bob and Lori are reporting this channel to no end. But apparently they're not here right now because Nicolina's on. Okay. So you're going to hit him with your paw or your claw? Hello, Teresa. We're sitting here playing a game. Did you catch that last, Smelly? Are you going to hit with your paw or your claw? I know yesterday your net wasn't working well. And I can only imagine what our lag is literally across country. Well, yeah, but your paw or your claw? Are you going to use your punch or are you going to use your claw attack? I have to know which one. Hello, Princess. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Now, You have a +2 to hit, and you rolled a 10. So, yes, you did hit. 7, 8. You did 8 body and 16 stun to him. You cut the bug open. Wow. Well, he's crashing to the ground. And he crashed right on top of the beetle. And the beetle took 13 stun. And it is your turn again. Because the beetle is a lot slower than you. So now, the lightning bug has crashed onto the beetle, and you're about 20 feet above the beetle in the tree, but the beetle is almost over the wizard. Well, they're both below you, and the bug guy's on the ground with the wizard. And the beetle is standing there with a giant axe. And the head of the axe is about as big as your body. So you basically have the choice of attacking the beetle or trying to grab the wizard and hop off. Those are your two basic options. I know Pindar's got a messed up world, doesn't she? Okay, now you're going to drop down with your kick. We got a bad lag. I'm just looking at it now, and it takes a minute for us to come through. So, yes, we're communicating like spaceships. YouTube's got bad lag tonight, but, you know, it's no hurry. Okay, so you're going to hop down. Now, with the fall, you're going to gain momentum. And you just hit, literally. $36, 18 more stun. You staggered it backwards, but it's still standing. And it just swung at you with its beetle axe, and it rolled a 17. You do believe it might have cut you in half if it had hit you. And now you get to go twice because you are much faster than Beetle Axe. And that is his name. He's a beetle, he has a battle axe, so his name is Beetle Axe. So you're going to claw him or kick him? Okay, you hit him with the claws. Now, unfortunately for you, you found out that being a beetle, you can't get your claws cannot cut through that tough carapace on his body. Your claws do nothing to him, but it is still your next attack. You know, the lightning bug, you know, your claws worked on him real well. But Beetle Axe here, he's armored. And I'm not going to make bug jokes either. That's for when it's late at night and we've never slept. Well, see, that's the fun with villains, that sometimes you don't know what they can do until you fight them. Okay, so you're going to get him again. So, well, you kicked him backwards again. It's his attack now, and he's going to swing at you. And he missed with the 14. Well, actually, with the minuses, it was a 17 he missed with. So it's 3. So it is now your turn again. So I assume that you're going to hit him again, considering the claws won't work. So you swing again, and that time you hit with double damage. You got a modified 3. And you have knocked Beetle Axe out. And the wizard is now coming to. And he spells all of you out of there. Now, he did it in an area effect because, you know, he has a small pool. So, you are now back in the city at Rachel's place. Remember Rachel made the bookstore? Well, he made that, since you guys made that your lair, he made that his memorized teleport location. So, but because he did area effect, now Beetle Axe and Lightning Bug are on Earth. And he cast a sleep spell on both of them. Well, actually, he cast a disguise spell on the both of you, and you're going to laugh because, you know, now you look like a blonde woman in a patriotic costume, and he looks like a dark-haired man in a patriotic costume, and he actually takes them outside and calls the police and turns them into supervillains. And, of course, then you and him fly off, because once again, he used his magic. You know, about the time they wanted the police report, we must go now. I hear danger, jur. And then he casts a spell and you both fly in the air, and they think that you're Mr. and Mrs. Amazing. Now, just to let you know as a player, you've now beat Beetle Axe and Lightning Bug. And both of them are, well, Lightning Bug is 250 points, and Beetle Axe is 265. So, you know, you actually, so say 3. So you get 4 experience points. You overcame much, because, you know, I actually had the wizard there, and in reality, he should have came to a little bit earlier. But once again, for your sake, I was going to let you fight it. Because once again, the wizard should have came in a little bit earlier. But, you know, I want you to because that is the cool thing about when you're the solo player. You can get a good amount of experience points. The things tend to be quick, and you also get valuable experience. You know a little more on how to play your character. Well, he also had a bag. Beetleaxe did. And there's an egg in it. And he's giving the egg to you. Because he certainly doesn't want it. Actually, it's got your mantis in it, so just between me and you, I wouldn't eat it. Remember you wanted your mantis? You're going to get your mantis. But right now you got a mantis egg. If you say you eat your mantis, you're going to be really upset. Just saying. You don't want to eat your friend. Now, the funny thing is, the mantis would understand. A mantis being a mantis. I understand you're going to eat me. I'd eat you. Well, I'm just kind of imagining, can you imagine? Well, okay, there's Sensei. Okay, here's a hermit. And there's fuck you. Okay. Well, already your character has 11 points saved. Just to let you know, your character already has 11 points saved. You're well on the way to stuff. Now, the hermit is telling you that he has found someone that will train you into martial arts. See, you don't know it, but the wizard can also tell the future. And he has been telling the future for some time. Like, what will I need? And then his magic's been telling him what he needs. And one of them was a martial arts teacher. So he already had one set up. Well, Smelly, now I know. Now, the wizard is going to go get the human being that's going to come and train you to do martial arts. And while he's doing that, you're going to do something. We don't know what it is yet. It's all up to you. Actually, you're going to be a lot better than her. You got claws. I mean, she has normal human statistics. I mean, she had like maybe a 10 or to 12 strength. And you can punch out Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. They say you've got way above normal human statistics. So, this is like with your character, you can kind of do what you want, like in the Solo comic books, this is like P.U. Rottenbottom issue 1. You're lost in the jungle and you save the wizard and you get home and this is the second part of your issue 1 and you're kind of figuring out what you want to do. You're an adult. You feed yourself. I mean, that's the way it is. That's what the wizard says. I mean, go to the store and get your own tuning. You're a grown woman. Now, I will go get your martial arts teacher, but he has to go to Japan to get him. And unfortunately for him, because of his low pool, he just can't go to Japan. No. He has to open a door to Japan. Now, unfortunately for him to open a door to Japan, he's going to have to go in the other room and meditate for a day to open the door to Japan. And oddly enough, another door in the room will go to Japan for a few minutes. So basically what you're saying is you want to make your own room. Now, Rachel's not here, but she said she had a bookstore. So I'm sure that bookstore has storerooms with books. And we know that cats like to lay on books. So I'm sure you can make yourself a wonderful cat bed out of books. Well, see, this is a part of the gameplay. We have to figure out how you're going to make your lair. Now, the cool thing is, later on, you can actually buy your lair. And we can write it all up with all of its perks and abilities. And later on, like after you have all the stuff you want on your character, you can donate experience points to your lair. To your or I should say your headquarters. Well, you're a kitty. Lair, headquarters, same thing. Well, there you go, Smelly. You can go through the bookstore and set up bookshelves in your room of everything gothy. And everything not gothy, you can make into a bed and, throw some kind of dark blanket over it. Are you going to dye your fur black? I never asked you. What color are you, kitty? Yeah, I didn't think about that. I never did ask. What color is your wear form? For some reason, my head always just had purple and pink in its mind. Okay, so you look like Elric, a cream-colored kitty. Or Winter. Winter's a cream-colored kitty. Okay. Okay, let me see here. Trying to remember where I put everything. Okay, there's Lightning Bug. Here's Beetleaxe. Now the funny thing is the authorities will be able to. Well, you know what? They might have a hard time with Beetleaxe. Okay, they are. Matter of fact, what's going to suck is Beetleaxe is going to break out at some point. He's got a 40 strength, so he can punch through the cells eventually. It'll take him a while. Oh, shit, he has tunneling ability. He's going to escape. Now, Lightning Bug, however, he's really wounded. He's not going to escape. Now, you don't know it, but, just between Roger and Smelly, Lightning Bug was actually one of the princes of Pindar's enemies, and Beetleaxe was actually the royal executioner that was sent to protect the prince. So yes, that wasn't just anyone you fought, You actually fought two really important people from the royal court. Once again, they have their own magics, and they don't want these royals to come back. They want to defeat Pindar's people, and they were looking for Pindar, and they ran into you. And now you almost killed their prince, and now both him and the royal executioner are prisoners of the police. And where Beetleaxe actually has tunneling his ability, he can get out. Now, the prince, which we're calling Lightning Bug, because that's what everyone would call him, he's going to be fucked. He's going to be trapped by the government. Can you imagine how much it would suck to be a bug, a giant bug person, and the government be probing you? I mean, an alien, they might have a little bit of respect. But, you know, when you look like an insect already, I expect it. They'll come up with some horrible ways to examine him. Well, actually, Smelly, I don't know the movie. Because I've been out of circulation for most of society for a long time. You know, when I was 32 and taking care of my mother, that was basically the end of me seeing movies and getting to do normal things. So, yes, you know, Beetle's going to escape. He hasn't yet. You know, he'll sit there for a little while, and now their prince, Lightning Bug, he's going to be scarred beyond belief. I mean, in more ways than one. He already hates he already hates lizard people, and now he's going to really hate humans. Because we're ugly, he's trapped, they're all up in his face examining him. So yeah, so you've made a lifelong enemy. Now, once again, it'll be interesting when Pindar gets back. Now, see, just between you and me, I'm not going to have you run into Beetleaxe right now. You know, I know because of his tunneling ability that he'll get out of police custody, and when Pindar comes back, you know, that will be a surprise for her. So, you know, as a game master, I'll probably have her fight Beetleaxe and them the next time. You know, the next time she's here, I'll pop them out again. Now, here's that NPC I told you about. The one that the wizards went to go get, so I have him together. Oh. I forgot about that. Okay. I was looking at, I've been setting villains aside, and I made some powerful ones for later. And I made a villain last night, and I started to use it, and then I looked at its ability. It's like, no. It would have just too much of a strategic advantage against you. So we will go to this other book. I mean, way too much of strategic advantage. Oh, hello, Pindar. Well, you missed something important, Pindar. But you'll get to see soon enough. Oh. Okay. I was seeing if there was anything in here that would just, you know how Batman has certain villains? I was trying to think of you as a character, and I was trying to think, look through there and find something that's just perfect for you. Well, actually, it's Rachel that has the library. You know, Pindar gets to pick her own room, too. Now, once again, because Rachel's not here, you know, she's going to get very little to say, but, you know, I know there's at least 2 back storerooms. No, it's Rachel. Dragonfly owns the bookstore. You know, and she's relatively normal. You know, she can completely pass. She doesn't change at the full moon. Hmm. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. So we give. Okay. Okay. That works. No, Rachel's character is named Dragonfly. Yes. You know, your light person, Rachel's character is named Dragonfly. She is not a dragonfly. Even though you fought someone that just looked like a dragonfly that shot lightning. And he is Lightning Bug. Prince of the Bug People. All hail Bug People. And you fought their royal executioner. And now they're all on Earth. Before I use a villain, I have to read their disadvantages in case you were to trigger one of them. Okay, I think I know what they would be doing. Shit, what did I do? What did I do to the dice? Damn it, Ray. Ah. Oh. Sit on top of the weed. Ha ha ha. Silly me. I set your martial arts teacher on top of the weed. Silly me. Well, it's a continuity. Just like in comic books, you know, your character starts to do their regular stuff, and once again, I find other plausible things. But you know, being a new game, you know, once we've played a bunch of times and you guys are all together, then you know it will flow a lot easier. But now, one thing that I'm going to be doing is finding villains that match up really well with you in certain ways. You know, it's like you don't want Batman fighting aliens. You know, Batman isn't the guy to fight off the alien armada. That's what Superman is for. So, you know, I'm not putting you up against world destroying people. I'm putting you up against people that fit you. So I think I found this one, and I think it will become one of your regular villains. Now, I did write up some heroes, because once again, if only one person shows up and I want to use a more powerful person, I just throw in a few NPC heroes. Well, hello, Pindar. Now, to give you kind of a recap, when you came into your world, you all were attacked by two giant Tyrannosauruses who were fighting each other, and you all scrambled in different directions. And Smelly was separated from the group with the wizard. And Smelly had some adventures in your world, and then the wizard brought her and Smelly back to Earth, and they are currently in the basement of the bookstore of Rachel. And Smelly's picked out her room. Now, the interesting thing is your enemy prince is now on Earth. And the government has him. And he was near death because Smelly messed him up real bad. And the royal executioner of the bug people is on Earth too. Beetleaxe, one of your enemy's worst foes. You know, would be considered, how do we put it? he would be on your people's top 10 wanted list. Well, believe it or not, she's still working on that. Currently, she's on her own and finding what she wants to do, and the wizard has went to go get her brand new trainer. That's why I brought them back to Earth. To get her martial arts trainer. Other than that, I would have left them in your world for more adventures, because right now, the bug people are going to be looking for their missing prince. And they're not going to find him because he's on Earth now. You remember how the wizard has to cast spells as he can? Well, he could only do, for 20 points, one area effect transport. So he ended up accidentally catching the wounded bugs and transported them to Earth, where he then disguised Rachel, or not Rachel, but Smelly and himself, and turned over the bugs to the police. Which, soon after, Beetleaxe is going to escape because tunneling is one of his beetle abilities. Good bad. So, your choice is, Pindar, are you going to stay in your realm, or are you going to bring everyone back to Earth? So that's up to you. Well, actually, everyone would basically be you and Rachel. Since the other two were separated. So 2 of you went one way, 2 of you went the other. Okay, Smelly. No hurry. Now, I did make a few superheroes last night parroting, certain characters we know in a way, but not in a way. It's like Hawkeye has Marvel, and then DC has the Green Arrow. So I created the Blue Bow, and he's kind of a combination between them both. Now, instead of Batman, I made Night Falcon. So, instead of going around on a string, he actually flies. You would think that Batman would actually fly being a bat? Just saying. I mean, why can't Batman fly? So get his helicopter, a plane, or a freaking boat. He's a bat. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going on the Batman rant. Now, occasionally I will do comedy. And one of them is going to be a Batman rant. And I'm going to save my Batman ranting for the Bat rant. So, Pindar, are you going to stay on Bug World? Or, Lizard World. Yeah, no, it's not Bug World, it's Lizard World. Or are you going to go back to Earth? I hope you like Bob and Lori's origin. Yeah, their DoorDash was spit on by a radioactive fast food worker. And in reality, that could be the only way that Bob and Lori could get superpowers. My guts are feeling better after I took those ibuprofen. I do feel a lot better. I want to do that other book. Nope, don't want to use him. Nope, don't want to go that far. Are you back, Smelly? Because I was just going through the list of villains. Okay. Like I say, we're in no big hurry. This is just a friendly hangout. And one great thing about this device, it's got a much bigger battery. For example, we still have 70% on this, and we've been on here an hour. This is what I used to do my 3-hour lives on. Oh, it's no problem, Smelly. You know, I've made this is, one of the things that I always plan when I set these times, because I knew unfortunately we'd fall on that. But that's why when other people are here, when you're cooking, I'm just doing their character. And if not, I got a nice sized pile of weed sitting right here. I ain't gonna show it on YouTube, but sitting right over here on the book right next to you guys is a nice, beautiful pile of marijuana. And it looks pretty, and it says "Smoke me." Because I knew from the lag and everything, I knew that doing these is going to be a leisurely affair. It's not going to be like, a lot of D&D to where, you give the players 10 seconds. Cause now I ate over much today. Now I think I feel better for it, but I probably should have not ate the last several bites. No. Once again, I don't think Bob and Lori has ever said that. Now, I've not wrote up Bob and Lori yet, but their statistics are going to be pretty simple. That sounds good. That does, Pindar. Licorice sounds good. But yes, I've been craving sweets. Don't need sweets. I've been eating food, but my body wants sugar. I don't know why. But, I eat responsibly. And I have been exercising, and that was kind of it today. I was like, well, I feel like I can do, so I did. And at the beginning of the stream, my guts was really hurting. Now, I know if it wasn't for that ibuprofen, they'd still be hurting, but okay. Okay, Smelly. Well, then I can just hit this pipe about 4 times in 4 minutes. Just saying. Now, I do think it's funny that Bob and Lori are going to waste their time photographing this chat and downloading it, but whatever floats their boat. I mean, I typically don't care over what goes on in random chats, but like I said, whatever floats their boat. Now, I did set up a game started today, a game of Elite Risk. Started with 24 sides. Several of those sides no longer exist. And I think we do have a lag. Yeah. I think that you might be the one behind. Because I'd asked you a couple questions. I've done that before. Welcome back. Now, you're quicker than 4 minutes, because I think I only hit that twice. But yeah, I'm going to come up with your own nemesis. Batman has his villains. Superman has his. You guys are each going to have yours. And Smelly just brought 2 of Pindar's big opponents to Earth. So then Pindar will have 2 of her ancestral enemies to fight on Earth. Now, you did almost kill their prince. So, that is going to make him your enemy too. Now, see, you have something in common. You now have the same enemy sworn to kill you. Hello, Celestial Rogue. We're sitting here playing Champions. But, we'll have to come up with a name for your people's planet at some time, but there's no hurry on that because whatever it is, we're stuck with it after we decide what it is. So that's why I've not hurried on naming your world because, later on we might wish we had named it something else. And like the knockoff I did of Batman, I actually made knockoff villains for Batman. So, instead of the Riddler, there's the Puzzler. Instead of the Penguin, it's Arctic Fox. But Arctic Fox is actually an attractive woman to where Penguin is an ugly troll-like creature. No, see, in Superworld, all you gotta do is put Captain in front of it. Like Captain Uranus. Now, see, remember how the stupid Sailor Moon stuff had them from different planets? Do it different, but Captain. Captain Jupiter Captain Saturn, Captain Uranus. No one likes him. He's an asshole. Now, for example, if I'm out of ideas one day and you travel to another dimension and they have superheroes, that might happen. Just saying. No promises. You know, there's some of those days where you instantly need something brand new. And that would be something to throw in. Like I say, no promises. Because sometimes, you end up getting silly if you want to or not. Now, Pindar, I'm going to assume that you're going to take you and Rachel back to Earth. And to the bookstore. Now, excuse me, Smelly has already found her a place in the bookstore in one of the storerooms. Now, there are more storerooms because Rachel says she owns the entire building. And considering that PU turns into a giant kitty girl and you're a reptile, I'm thinking that the other basement storeroom would be right for you. So you're going to get to create your own room how you want it. Now, of course, you'll have to have Rachel go buy you the stuff, and I think that PU is basically going to steal everything that she needs. Well, you can. Well, you were behind. I asked you earlier, were you going to? So, I'm just going to help this along, and you easily did with your role. So, you're going to have Smelly, the cat girl, and you, the lizard girl, and Rachel, the human girl. Actually, that would be fairly easy to get. Matter of fact, I would say that... Well, actually, with your pool, you can disguise yourself. If you want to go out into Earth and look for these things yourself, you can do that. It just takes a simple disguise roll. So you're going to make your room into kind of a bedroom taxidermy room. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to look at things through a reptile's eyes, because you've never seen mammals. Because your world doesn't have any mammals on it. That's the difference. Your world doesn't have any mammals, and your world doesn't have any avians. And the dinosaurs never died out and evolved into birds. So, those are two evolutionary niches that just aren't on your planet. And once again, your people became intelligent first, and somewhere several thousand years ago, the bug races started to develop intelligence. So like I say, your world doesn't have birds and it doesn't have mammals. So people would look really weird to you. I mean, they look pretty alien. Because, once again, our families and genuses aren't even on your world, but your world still has the full plethora of dinosaur genuses and families. So, it will be interesting, and I'm also going to put raptor men in your world. Now, they are a legend. Kind of like we'd say Bigfoot is here. Nobody believes in raptor men. Because, you're of a reptilian dinosaur, lineage. And, of course, your people think that no dinosaur can be intelligent. But there is a small group of raptors out there. They're not huge in number. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, you could easily now. Once again, if a supervillain, if he was to get a hold of a T Rex, he could turn it into a giant cyborg killing machine. She's saying. Well, yeah, Pindar. Because once again, your world is going to be you're people. You're still people. So, you're going to have your own little things. And like I say, Raptor men are your Bigfoot. They're not some giant faction or nation out there, but, there's something that some people say that they saw something once. Because that's one thing I noticed, Pindar, when I read books. Characters that have known each other for ages never small talk. And that's where when I created my book, my characters that have known each other for a long time, they have small talk. Bullshit talk. Like you or I do. But that's one thing that I noticed between all writers and me. That their characters just don't bullshit that's known each other forever, which would be what they would be doing. Well, how in Superman's mythos, Krypton spawned a million things in the D&D, the DC universe. Well, your world, whatever we decide to name it, is going to spawn a myriad of things in this universe. So, at some point, I'm sure there'll be an intelligent Raptor Man supervillain with more of a native feel. Maybe an ally, maybe an enemy. Who knows? May depends on what gameplay happens. Got my pencil. Have another. Now, is there anything your character wants to do? Make sure my chat isn't locked up. Now, Smelly did really well. She took out both of the alien bugs. I guess Pindar stepped away too. Anybody got any questions? If not, I'm going to sit here and hit this pipe and wait on the players. Okay. Well, like I say, your character can do anything that she wants, really. You're just mulling around on Earth. Smelly already had a little fight earlier, and I can come up with something if you want to take your character for a test drive. Well, that's cool, Pindar. Now, Smelly said she's a cream-colored kitty. Because I asked her that earlier right before you got here. Because I was wondering what color kitty cat she is. And she's a cream-colored kitty. Well, that's cool, Pindar. See, that's one of the things is this is the informal session. So, just whatever we want to do. Well, actually, that would be no problem. Now, the thing is, with your magic, is it illusion or real? Because you could do real. At the 40-point pool, you could literally transform yourself into what someone would, well, literally into a human being. I mean, really, yeah, in reality, you if you made your roll, you could do that. You know, you could literally look like Amber Heard and literally be her except up here. Because for 40 points, you can do that. Really, for 20 points, you could do that. So, you know, you've got twice the amount. They say all you have to do is make your pool roll, which is virtually just not a, well, I think it's 14 or less. Well, some guy's going to be really surprised, just saying. Well, I'm sure you could, but you know, I'm sure that, you know, when he's trying to go in and the tail's hitting him in the head, you know, the invisible tail's hitting him in the head, I'm sure that'll kind of mess with him. So we will wait on Smelly, and you're going out and scarring a man for life, just saying. Hey, lady, don't you think you need some lotion? Hello, Smelly. Well, Pendar's back on Earth, and she's went out in illusion and to find her a man. She's going all Letitia on us. You know, all I can think the guy is saying is, hey, lady, don't you think you need some lotion? Oh, it's no problem, Smelly. Like I say, Wednesday's always going to be very informal. You know, Sunday, I'm going to try to, Sundays, I will try to impress people with gameplay so we get more players. But, you know, on Wednesday, it's all, remember what I said before, Wednesday will always be extremely informal. Pendar, you have me complete. That's the thing with the game is now and then, you know, it's like Pendar's making me completely lose my train of thought because I want to laugh. Just trying to think how spooning would go. Which Letitia, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, I ain't said this on a vid, but, you know, just between us friends, she's hooked up with a guy, in my opinion, and that whole thing of Jason come to me is she wanted the guy to whip his ass. And once again, remember how deluded she is? So I think that's what it is. I think she's hooked up with a guy and is hiding. And she was, of course, the guy's like, I'll whip his ass. And that's all that was. That whole message was to somehow try to lure Jason into a fight. In my opinion. And once again, I'm not going to dignify it with a video. You know, the baby's safe. You know, she made a lot of people mad. You go do you, Latiti. You go do you. Well, yeah, Panda, that's what this game is for. I mean, it's very funny. Now, I've not talked about it because I don't want to overload us, but in reality, there is a variant to play Star Frontiers. Now, now the original character rules sucked. So over the years, I did modify them. So, you know, far in the future, you know, after everyone's got a higher level D&D character, you know, I'm going to make you play a space game. Once again, that will be open to everybody that's a regular player. Just a second. I got reflexes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start everyone on champions first. And then the champions players will get the chance to play D&D or a Space Frontier game. Hello, Rachel. How are you this evening? We're just here screwing around. Like I say, Wednesdays are always going to be informal. But there are all three of you here now. So that changes my dynamic. Well, Smelly, let me know when you're done with dinner. Because we have the other two lovely ladies here, and I have your character sheets. And once again, Rachel, your character is back on Earth. Now, your basement, two of the storerooms are now rooms for P.U. Rottenbottom, and there's another one for Pindar. Because of terms of service, Pindar, unfortunately, I'll be calling you just Pindar most of the time. Yes, they are. Now, fortunately, humans and lizards can't procreate. I hope. Probably could with magical help, in reality, I mean, you could. Now, you could probably even use your pole to procreate, but, I don't think that alien human lizard hybrids might be a good idea, and once again, that's going to kind of get Art Bell on us if you do. Okay, Smelly. Like I say, no hurry. It's just, well, that gives me a chance to do something else. So here's the Hermit. Here's the Pindar. Here's the Smelly. And here's the Rachel. Okay, characters right here. Okay. Your characters are here, so put your characters right there. Okay. Well, Rachel, I don't say her name because of terms of service. Because phonetically, look what it says. Okay, this, I have to have this. Okay. That's your new friend, your new teammate. Okay. And I may accidentally be biting off more than you guys can chew. But you've done extraordinarily well so far. And Smelly did extraordinarily well. And the wizard's back with Sensei. Now, okay, I already told everyone Sensei's power already. He is the one that has martial arts usable on others. He has a low 2-6 telepathy. And it basically transmits the thoughts in his mind to yours. And you gain his martial arts abilities. To where he is the peak of human efficiency. Now the two of you, you're superhuman. And where he's the peak of human efficiency, it will make him on the equivalent of a Captain America. You know, to kind of give you an idea of what Sensei would be like. He'd be kind of like martial arts Captain America without the shield. But this martial arts Captain America makes you into Bruce fucking Lee. Good night, Celestial. Well, it's okay, Pindar. No problem. We're in no hurry. Like I say, that's what Wednesdays are always going to be. Because life goes on every day, and that's one reason why I picked the regular session for Saturday. Because it's the weekend. And, you know, by Saturday night, you know, people aren't generally doing the chores. Well, that was quick. Yes, that was quick. Now, once again, Sensei will be added to your team, so I guess for now you have a team of 5. Now, officially, you guys have never decided a name for your super team. You know, we've just been calling you guys champions at this point. So, once again, you can still just call yourself champions as kind of a non-team, kind of a whoever shows up affair, or you can make up your own interesting name. Okay. Now, you all go back to your own place. Now, Rachel, do you have it now? You and I are going to have to come up with your layer at some time, but I think we made it like a 3-story building, didn't we? I think we did. You know, in our first adventure, did we make it a 3 or a 4-story building? Because your basement was your store area. You know, your level area was ground floor. That was your selling area. Then you had an upstairs. Now, was there anything above the 3rd floor? Okay. So, the wizard will take something on the upstairs floor. And that's probably where you have your apartment too. So, he'll probably just take a side bedroom, you know, in your main upstairs area. Which he won't be in much, by the way, unless he's meditating, and then he'll just simply be on his bed, which is what he basically does after you guys get back with Sensei. Now, unfortunately, Sensei, now, he's pretty simple. He just takes a mat and rolls it up in one of the corners of the basement. He's very frugal. Now, the next morning, the wizard gets up and he looks very worried. He says he doesn't know what's going to happen today, but something bad is going to happen. Very bad. Now, see, once again, with his low pool, he can't do a lot of flashy things, but what the wizard does is with his spells, he prepares things. And one thing that he prepared was a spell over time to warn him of something that would be an impending danger to the world. Because one ipso facto, if it's a danger to the world, it's a danger to you guys. Once again, you know, the wizard isn't all lights and love and puppies, but he's big about himself. Now, he will ask you to gather today and be ready for battle. And he will go into a meditative state. Okay, made his 3 rolls. Oh, real good. Okay, here, about an hour before, well, he comes to and he says, we have to be somewhere in an hour. And once again, because he has prepared these things ahead of time for danger, he can teleport you all there. And he just fucked up his roll. Oh, man. And it was, see, it's one thing, and it was all going so well. You know, you never see that in the movies. You never see Doctor Strange misses his roll. But yes, on his transport roll, he just messed your transport roll. Which means you didn't actually land at the spot you're supposed to. Well, see, this is where the dice are vicious bastards. Now, you will have to learn this about the game if you don't already know. The dice are vicious bastards, because I had this planned out in my head of you being right there when the event happens and being able to interact and change things. But because the wizard fucked his roll, which was a damn easy roll to make, you guys aren't there, and this now has gone side, you know, just to let you guys know, this has all gone sideways on me at this point, and it's what we have to call now improvising. Oh, man. Did I forget to get one thing out? Damn it, Roger. Okay, well, no, you actually don't. I mean, you're not that far away. It's just, it was a critical moment, and it really would have been best if you were right there. Once again, when the villains weren't ready. So, you know, unfortunately, the powerful villains will now be ready. Now, you actually do, Smelly, I forgot, I was about to say something, but I have to remember, Smelly senses. Smelly, you smell something familiar. Perfume. And a female. And of course, you're going to turn your head to the smell, and you see Girl Goth. And she says, what are you losers doing here? They're all over there at the airport. Actually, she's just looking at you like you're stupid. And she's pointing over at the airport. You know, you're some distance from the airport. And she doesn't look amused. She doesn't look angry. She doesn't look violent. She looks at you like you're dumb, and she does not look like she's amused. Oh, well, you look behind you, there's nothing there, and in Smelly, you smell nothing else. You know, the only thing you smell is Girl Goth. So, I mean, it's up to you guys what you want to do. Like I say, Girl Goth is just standing there looking at you. Now, Sensei's giving her a hard look because Sensei's never seen a dark elf before. He's going to have to kind of get used to it, I guess. Well, are you asking Girlgoth that, or are you asking your teammates that? She has no idea what you're talking about. Now, that is a sign for you that, that apparently Girlgoth does not understand, typical culture. Because when you make that crack, it just doesn't even look like it recognized on her face at all. Well, she looks at you like you're a moron once again, and she says, "Do you want a list?" Okay, so Rachel is going to blast her. Well, you do. Okay, you just knocked out Girlgoth. She didn't see that one coming. Well, Smelly, is you're asking her, what do you want with us? And Dragonfly just hits her with a blast of light, and she goes sailing. And Girlgoth wasn't expecting it, so it was double damage. There is a very, very unconscious Girlgoth with the sunburn. Well, the wizards, they're casting a spell. And there's an image before you. And you see what looks to be a large lizard man. And I mean a large one, Pindar. I mean, he's about 9 feet tall. I mean, he'd be impressive among your people. But he don't quite look like your people. Matter of fact, he doesn't look like anybody on your planet. Even though he does seem to be some kind of a lizard man. And next to him is Alfarius Cain and Grimgoth. So yes, apparently Alfarius Cain and Grimgoth is now with a giant lizard. Once again, you're supposed to get there like before the lizard fell through the hole, but because the wizard screwed up the spell, you didn't get there before the lizard got through the hole. And Girlgoth was actually a... Let me see. Did Girlgoth... Yeah, I think Girlgoth had some mental defense. Actually, since they made a good enough roll around that. Well, Sensei does not speak very good English. But in broken English, he basically says she was watching them. Because, once again, he is sitting there silently, but one of his powers is a surface level telepathy. So, he could at least tell that she was watching them, and you actually appeared in her hiding spot. So yes, Girl Goth did not seek you down. This is where she was hiding, watching it all, and it just so happened that you popped into her hiding spot. Well, she's just unconscious. It's not like you've not made her. Actually, I think it's not like Rachel hasn't shot her before. Well, Girl Goth is Girl Goth. I mean, good, it's a relative term. Yes, she's just stunned, and unfortunately, you have those three creatures are at an airport on the tarmac. Speaking of which, and now you hear gunshots. Once again, because they're three things that don't really seem to be human on the tarmac. Oh, no, she was hit with double damage. She's going to be out a while. Girl Goth is basically out for the rest of this adventure. Okay, so you're putting up your pole as your defense. Okay, we got a spinny weenie. So let me see. There is the 3 players and the 2 males. So you're a team of 5. So that sounds good. So are you going to sashay towards the gunshots, or are you going to sit here and debate your strategy more? Well, now you're out of range for your light blast. You can't see them. Remember, the wizard was creating images for you to see them. They're still about a quarter mile away. Now, once again, with Girl Goth, she could see them. Because Girl Goth has a magic pool. And Girl Goth was using a telescopic vision spell. Actually, yes, you can. Well, the thing is, you'll have to switch your pull to strength. Because a 30 strength is not going to lift up an airliner. But if you switch your pull from defense all to strength, yes, you can throw an airplane at that point. But you will have to get down to the runway to throw the plane. Now, the wizard does have a spell. He can levitate you all over, and you all float up over a quarter mile away, because he doesn't want you to wear out before the battle. Well, actually, Rachel can fly on her own. Just saying. So Rachel, you're flying on your own, because that way your doesn't group you all together. Now, are you going to go right in front of them, or are you going to try to ambush them? Now, as you're getting over there, you see security is shooting at them. And you can see Alfarius is on a ghostly red horse, and he's cutting them down with a battle axe. Okay, now you're getting over there, and you hear the wizard saying, he has a magic sword. You know, on the perception rolls, the wizard can tell right away that the giant lizard man has a very heavily magicked blade. Okay, Pendar, you switched your pull back in defense. Now, you're going towards their behind, so he has to roll a 12 or less for perception. And he rolled a 12. So he sees you coming. Now, unfortunately for you, he's faster than all of you. So, once again, Smelly, you know how fast you are? The lizard guy is a little bit faster. And he takes that sword and he points at the wizard and it shoots a beam of energy out. And the wizard gets hit with a beam of light. And he takes stun damage from it, and he is still up in the fight, although it looks like he's about halfway down. And now, Smelly, it's your attack. And Smelly, all of a sudden, you feel like Bruce Lee. You feel like you can kick. You feel like you can punch. Matter of fact, you feel like you can kick in ways you've never kicked before. Oh, you can claw at him, but you've got a choice between Alfarius, Grimgoth, and Giant Lizard Man. Well, you got to pick one, you know, because it's with phases. So, you know, you have to start off with a singular attack. Now, your kick will do the most damage. So, claw or kick? Okay. Now, Smelly, you hit an 11 or less. And you hit with a 7. And normally it would do 11 body damage. Now, he has full damage resistance. You hit him with their claws, and it does absolutely nothing. And, you know, you have him looking, he's like 8.5, 9 feet tall, and he's looking down at little kitty girl, and you just tried to lay open his guts, and you just patted him in the belly. Grimgoth's laughing at you, by the way. And Rachel, it's your attack. So yes, Rachel, it is your turn. Okay. Well, you barely hit, Rachel. And it leaves a black mark on his armor. And other than that, he is completely unharmed. And Grimgoth is even laughing harder now. And let me see the last. Okay, Pindar, you lost initiative to Alfarius. Alfarius is going to kick you. He kicked you. We won't talk about it, but you took about 25 stun. He laid into you really good. Now it's your turn. And then it's Sensei's turn. No, I take that back. You had it in defense still. You only took 5 stun. Excuse me. So you felt it a little bit. And like I say, and it's your move. Yes, you can attack anyone that you want. Because many times, fighting team to team, you have to think strategically. Such as Grimgoth has not gone yet. And neither has Sensei, and neither has the wizard. So, are you going to just use your regular strength? Or are you going to flip your pool out to try to disarm the lizard? Because if you don't use your pool, you're attacking him with a 30 strength. If you switch your pool into all into strength, then you're trying to get his weapon away with a 70 strength. Okay, so we flipped 14 or less, and you made the roll to flip your pool. And now, this now is a fight between what we call body. I'm not interested in the stun roll. I'm interested in the 6s and the 1s. You get 14 rolls. He gets 12 rolls. So whoever comes up with the higher number wins. So first I start with his 12. There was 1, another 1. So he got a number of 10. So you basically have to beat a 10. And you get 14 rolls. And you broke even. You have now broken the sword from his grip. And he just called you an obscenity in an alien language. So yes, you do have his sword on the ground. Now, it's Sensei's attack, and he's going to attack Grimgoth. And he missed Grimgoth. Ow. Okay. Well, Sensei's going to need a healing spell because Grimgoth just hit him with a fireball. So, Sensei, stop dropping and rolling now. And then, now Grimgoth has been hit by a web spell by the wizard. Because once again, if Grimgoth can't use his hands, he can't cast a spell. So the wizard has effectively taken out Grimgoth because he can't break out, but unfortunately, Sensei has now become a crispy critter. Now, the giant lizard is the fastest one here. And he just grabbed his sword with his tail. Pindar, he's quicker than you. when you're going for his sword, he picked it up with his tail. And now, Smelly, it is your turn. And now the giant lizard has two hands open and he has a sword in his tail. So, Smelly, it's your attack. Anyone you want. You know, there's the giant lizard, or there's Alfarius. So, you know, you can take a kick on either one of them. Now, just to let you know, you could super leap straight up. You know, even though you typically go over distance, you could go for height. You know, and do a super leap straight up and gain momentum on a kick. You know, because once again, your character would know this as being its own body. So you're going to try to hit the lizard again with your claws. Smelly, you figure out your claws, there is absolutely no positive way that you can cut through this guy's skin. Your claws are completely ineffectual to the big giant lizard. Okay, I'll give you the kick. Now see, normally if we were just playing I wouldn't, but once again, because we have to make allowances because of the lag, okay, I will give you the kick. And you hit with the kick. You knocked him back. You can tell you rung his bell pretty good. And he called you a name. So let me see the next. And now, Rachel, it's your attack. And once again, Grimgoth is entangled in a web. Now, it looks like Sensei has now been put out, and the wizard is tending to him, casting a healing spell. So, you have Alfarius or the Lizard Man. If she's gone away for a minute, I'll give her just a moment, and if not, I'll pick her attack. Okay, here she is. Okay, blast of light to Alfarius. And you hit him. 35. He took 15 stun. He grunted a bit and called you a light witch. So let me see. The next attack will be 3, 4. Okay, so next will be 6 space attack, which will be Mangrel, the Lizard Man. Well, let me see. Smelly hurt him, though. Smelly, you just got a big giant lizard fist to the face. Well, Smelly, oh shit. Your character is unconscious. And you went 120 feet. But relative, you're not permanently hurt. You took no body damage, but you're unconscious. And you went 120 feet down the tarmac in a straight line, because apparently this reptile hits with unusually superhuman strength. And unfortunately, it was Smelly's turn. But you know, Smelly's busy flying away. So, let me see, it's 6 turns, so we'll go to the 8th turn. So, unfortunately, it's the giant lizard's turn again. And then it's Rachel. And Rachel just hurt him last. Now, he took that sword in his tail and fired an energy blast at you. And you took 16 stun. And you're still in the fight. And it's now your attack, Rachel. Well, no, actually, you took no body damage. It's just, you just went 120 feet. He hit you so hard. Well, it's speed. See, it's all the phase you're at. We're at phase 8. And Rachel gets a phase at 8 attack. You get 3, 6, 9, and 12. Are your phases to go. So, your turn is coming up right after Rachel's. So yes, Rachel, who are you going to blast and with what? Now, like I said, you staggered Alfarius the last time. You didn't, Pindar. The combat goes through 12 phases. Let's see if I can find the chart real quick. Okay, where is it? Oh. Okay, Rachel. Just 1 second. Pindar, I just sent you a photo. And it shows you the speed chart. To explain to you, the turns on the game. And your character is a speed of 4. And once again, this is how we figure out who goes. Because Rachel has a speed of 5. So out of 12 times, she gets to go 5. You have a speed of 4. So you get to go 4 times out of 12, the 12 phases. Now, Mangrel over here, he has a speed of 6. So he gets to go every other phase. Well, in reality, Smelly, you could shoot this lizard guy with tank shells and it ain't going to kill him. But yeah, that's how the turns work. And then if your speeds is the same, then whoever has the higher dexterity goes. So and you can raise your speed. And in fact, Pindar, later on, once you have the basics you want, you will. Matter of fact, when you're a powerful character, you will want to raise it up to where this other lizard's is at a 6. Where Smelly, being a super fast kitty girl, she could justify a speed of 8, when you get really powerful. Well, that's why I say this is where it's unique. This is where, your speed actually does matter because it tells you how many times you go. Now, to explain something to you, you have your pool. Your pool is 40 points. Speed is 10 for 1. So, like where you made yourself strong, you also could make yourself fast instead. And with the 40 points, you could go from a 4 to an 8. You know, instead of using it for defense or using it for strength, you could use it for speed. And in that case, you would be quick as what I said Smelly could be one day. Well, it is, because once again, normally you have a veteran player, you know, help everyone along. But, you know, that's why we're taking it real easy. And that's a part of what Wednesday's supposed to be. You know, once again, I want to try to keep my Sundays to be a little more professional, but that's what these Wednesdays are for. So, you know, we can pause for a little bit, take in the grand questions, explain how all your powers and characteristics works. But yes, Pindar, it's like on this chart here, if you upped your speed to 8, you know, you'd attack on 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, and 12. So, you know, with your martial arts that you're having right now because of Sensei, you know, you can do that. You could attack at a 12 dice with a kick, you know, faster than these guys. Now, Rachel was shooting. It was her turn, but, you know, once again, that was something you needed explained to, and I'll probably send this same picture to both Rachel and Smelly, too, at some point, to show them the chart. Now, she was shooting a light blast at Alfarius again, and she hit him. Good damage. Really good damage. $34, $44, $40. Okay, Alfarius is very... You actually stunned him. He doesn't get his attack. And he's doing the Mortal Kombat thing. Now, let me see. The last attack for the wizard. Okay, so he'll go after Pindar. So Pindar, it's your move. Because Alfarius is stunned. So there's no roll between you and him. Because normally your two are equal. So there'd be an initiative. But with him stunned, he loses an attack. So it's your attack, Pindar. Okay. I was making sure I didn't accidentally not put something on his character sheet. Okay. So how are you going to attack him? Like I say, you have various ways. You know, currently you have everything in your strength, I believe. No, you had it in defense. Excuse me. You had it in defense. Now, Alfarius, like I say, he's wounded about. Grimgoth is in the webs. And Mangrel, the lizard man, is still up and a fighting well. You have a club. I believe we gave your character, you know, a fairly tribal Aztecish weapon of a club for some extra hand damage. But in reality, your kick would do more. because of the whole martial arts thing. You'd actually do one more dice with the kick than you would with the club. He took 17 stun to add to the 15. And he called you another alien name. Okay. Well, the wizard failed changing his pull roll. So he cast another healing spell on Sensei. But that will actually make him all better. So Sensei is going to get his attack, and he just kicked the wounded Alfarius. And Alfarius is unconscious. Now, let me see that. Now we're at phase 10, and it's Mangrel's attack again. Grab with both hands. Okay, he grabs Grimgoth and rips him out of the webs. With the other arm, he picks up Alfarius, and he just super leapt. You know how you can leap, Smelly? So can he. It's just, he can actually leap about 20 yards further than you can. So yes, the giant lizard has both villains under each arm, the sword in his tail, and he's hopping off. So what do you wish to do? In reality, Smelly's the only one that can keep up with him somewhat. But you know, after like 3 leaps, you can see he's outpacing you, and after about 5 leaps, you can see he's twice as far as you started from him. Well, you'll be running back up to Smelly, and Smelly will be bouncing back to you, and the wizard will be using his recall spell, and he has it set for the bookstore. And at that time, you're starting to see all the cops start to come down because the security was getting killed. So you did drive the villain off. You did not capture them. But, you know, that was worth a few points. Oh, I forgot. Where did I put my notes? Where did I put my notes? Okay. Set it in here. So that means Panda 3. Well, you did good. Because, that, like I said, I actually threw him in this time because he was a powerful person. And you were supposed to fight Alfarius in company first. Now, you're going to have a problem. Yes, unfortunately. Well, once again, I want to tell you of the players behind the scenes. Girlgoth was not happy that you shot her. No, she wasn't. Girlgoth got up and watched what went on. Girlgoth cast a spell, and she traced where you guys are. And once again, Girl Goth was not happy that you shot her. And once again, Girl Goth is the kind of Girl Goth that acts out. So, your coffee's going to get interrupted, put it that way. Because she's not the kind of person that's going to bust in here and attack you, but she's going to summon something to attack you. Or, no, actually she's going to do worse. Oh, man. Oh, God, she's a bitch. Growth spell, transformation. Okay. Oh, God, I hate Girl Goth. Because I have to try to think like the character. And Girl Goth is the daughter of Grimgoth. So that means she is lazy as fuck. So, that's going in. So, once again, she wants to destroy you. So she went to the park. She got 3 dogs. She transformed them into a giant 3-headed hellhound. And then summoned a demon to possess it. So, put it this way. You remember the thing of the dog follows you home joke? Well, you basically have a version of Cerebrius, the dog guardian of hell, coming to visit you. So yes, you're going to have a giant 3-headed dog show up at your place that is about the size of a delivery truck that spews fire from each head. Once again, when Girl Goth gets unhappy, Girl Goth gets creative. Well, Girl Goth is a dark elf. Despite the fact that she looks like a 16-year-old girl, she's more like a 1600-year-old girl. Girl Goth has been a teenager for quite some time. She was probably born about, say, the 4th or 5th century. She would have been born during the Dark Ages. Actually, you know what? That kind of fits. When was Girl Goth born? The Dark Ages, of course. Well, the funny thing, Pindar, is you living on, being on Earth, you wouldn't know this isn't normal. That's the funny thing. You not being of Earth. Giant demonic flame-breathing hounds. You wouldn't know. Aren't all dogs like that? Now, the funny thing, remember I say you develop certain character nemesis? I can just see their giant 3-hounded hound of death being one of Smelly's supervillains. Now, you know what? You guys might have a quick out on this one. Because I just had her create a really powerful something, but it is demonic. So, it has all your typical demonic vulnerabilities. So, let's see this. It's an initiative between the wizard and it. The wizard rolls a 4, it rolls a 6. Okay. The wizard says, I'll take care of this, and he goes up to try to tame it. And it reaches out with its middle head, bites the wizard, blood flies everywhere, and he shakes him in his mouth. Because the funny thing is, the wizard could have banished him. If the wizard had won the role, he simply could have banished him. But unfortunately, the giant Cerebrius won, and Like I said, he just grabbed the wizard like a chew toy. Blood's flying everywhere, and he's shaking him back and forth. And it's all your attacks. Uh, and Smelly's the fastest, so Smelly, you get to go first. Yes, the best laid plans of mice and men. I bet, remember the wizard had a bad feeling about today? I think we know why. Well, there's no problem. The wizard's just getting shaken in the mouth and blood's flying everywhere and he's screaming, making wizard noises. Oh, shit. Smelly, you rolled an 18. You tripped on the blood. Yes, you went to kick him, but when you got up on one leg, oh, blood was everywhere and you just busted your ass. Remember I said that, they always look so good in the movies, but in reality, this is where it's like, this is like if you were really a superhero, the kind of shit that would happen. So yes, Smelly has now just busted her ass right in front of the giant three-headed thing, and while the wizard's going on in the middle head, the other two heads are looking down at Smelly. Like they want to have a tug of war. And it's Rachel and then Pindar's attack. Like I say, Smelly, sometimes things just don't go as a character or a game master plans. And once again, 18 is bad, 3 extremely good, 18 is bad. Every character has these moments. It just happens. It's just in the comic book movies, you wish there was more of them. That's kind of your puny god moment. Yes, it does. All sorts of magical ones. Like I said, because it's demonic, if the wizard had won initiative, the wizard rolls 14 or less, it would just been gone. And that's what the wizard was going to do. He was going to walk right up and banish it. But it won initiative. They had the same speed and dexterity, so they had to roll initiative. And the Hellhound won, and he's now slinging the wizard around like a rag doll, which is funny in its own way unless you're the wizard. But, Smelly, I mean, it's a giant three-headed dog that spews fire, and it has horns. And it kind of has a feeling in your mind, like evil itself. Okay. And you hit it with double damage. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 30. It would have half damage resistance. Oh, yeah, you did major damage to it. I mean, you hit it and you busted it, seemingly busted its head. And that head goes limp. Now, it's your turn, Pindar. Oh, I kind of feel sorry for the wizard. I mean, this doesn't happen to Doctor Strange. So, what is your character going to do, Pindar? I mean, you can do anything you want. Now you have to figure out how you're going to use your pool. Okay, so you're going to try that? Now remember, you're outside the bookstore. Unfortunately, like I said, the wizard didn't want, anything to, draw police here, so he was just going to go up and banish the thing. Yeah, there is. There's quite a bit of lag. And he drops actually, the wizard's more like slung in the air, but the wizard is now dropped. Now, your martial arts teacher's there, and he just martial arts kicked the thing. Okay. It did some stun. It didn't do much to the creature. Now, let me see. We were at phase 3. So now we are at phase 4. It does not get a phase 4 attack. Now, Smelly, you get a phase 4 attack. So, it's practically still right over you. And it's your turn, Smelly. You can try, Pindar. Because once more, the magic that your people gave you, or actually, it's the power of your people, is how we're doing it. It's like magic, but what it really is, it's the power your people have invested you with their own faith. So you can try it, but, right now, first it is Smelly's turn. Then it's Rachel's, then yours. You get to do that cycle again. You get +2 to hit. You kicked him. You did more stun damage to him, and you knocked it back several feet. So it's no longer over top of you anymore. And now it's Rachel's attack, and then Pindar's. And then if you don't finish it off, it gets to go. Well, you do need to kick it off. Because you need it up. Because, see, it can't bite you now by kicking it off. That was the imperative of getting it away from you. Because, like I say, now it would have to move to attack you. And it can attack anyone right now until after Rachel and Pindar goes. And Pindar has the same chance in reality of getting rid of it as the wizard did. But Rachel's just a little bit quicker. And that's her light powers that do that. Because you see, Rachel is slightly faster than a normal human can be. So, if you're wondering why she gets to go right after Smelly, is because she has a higher speed because of her light abilities. Okay. So it only did a few body. You put a wound on its head. You can tell that last one, you hit it really good. And now this time, Pindar, it's your attack. Now you said you wanted to try to banish it. And your first roll, you switched into your pool. And then you rolled a 5. you have now sent Cerebrius to hell. And you have now defeated Girlgoth's creation. And she's cussing somewhere. Actually, she's on a building across the street, invisible, watching all of this. Now, she did like the part where the wizard was doing this, and she was really wishing Smelly would got 8. Now, she really did want Rachel to get knocked in the head, but, you know, she'll just have to take her jollies of watching the wizard do this. So, and that's how we're going to end with the fighting tonight. And you guys will get a couple more experience points for that. Which for the night will give Smelly 9, and your other 2 lovely ladies will have 5 each. So that will help add to your character stats. And in reality, Pindar, I was looking through there on Extra Lem, and in the final edition, they had reduced the cost of Extra Lem. So you can buy that tail. You know, with this 5 points you just got now, you can buy your tail. Just to let you know. And then Saturday we'll be here for our regular game, and I'll try to have it as more of an adventure. You know, since you have your little cohesive team now, you got some good attacks in, you kind of understand your characters better. So, you know, that was one of the things that I did want to do with this session, is I wanted to try you against something tougher. And then Sunday, I'm going to try to run it like a module. So, you know, there's probably going to be a villain or a group of villains, and you'll have to figure out what their plot is. But in the beginning, I wanted to get you used to some simple combat before you have to do a little more role play. And you did very well. And in reality, the person that you fought, the giant lizard, was one of the characters from my book. Because you see, in the final 3rd book, he actually comes to our world and our time with superheroes and supervillains. Because they throw him through a time portal to get rid of him. And then he ends up. So you actually are the epilogue in my 3rd book, where Mangrel falls in at the airport. And Grimgoth knows Mangrel because they knew each other about 70 million years ago. In 70 million years ago, Mangrel was thrown through the portal to our time. And for the last 70 million years, Grimgoth has been expecting him. And Grimgoth knew from his magic that, hey, today's the day that reptile's going to show up. Well, actually, Pindar, the funny thing is, you know, he is a supervillain, but, you know, he's probably your most suitable mate. Because in reality, you know, what you consider your royal stats to be, he's equivalent. You know, when you saw what Smelly's claws wouldn't do, and you actually saw him punch, yes, it actually reminded you of one of the royal family. You know, the eggs you're here to save? But yes, as lizard guys go, you would consider him very hot. And he's from a ancient Conan type age in the past. About 70 million years ago. So yes, Pendars. See, that's where I thought it would be interesting. Since you picked a reptile person, because this. Remember how you said a love story? This way you kind of got the Batman Catwoman vibe, but instead it's Lizard Girl and Lizard Boy. Well, see, it puts it out there because once again, he's going to be one of your regular foes. Remember how I said that certain people will line up better to be a hero or a villain with each other? And he will be one to be yours. Actually, Pindar, yeah. No problem. Remember how he does things over time? He probably said it'll take me a month. But yeah, he could. No problem. Those are the kind of things that he does. And like I say, it'd take him about a month to brew it up, but it would pretty much be a foolproof one. So yes, you can. Now, Girlgoth could do it too. The wizard could. Girlgoth could. If you had some alchemical knowledge, you might even be able to yourself with the power of your people. Maybe. Now, it would be easier for him because he knows alchemy. Well, she's the daughter of Grimgoth. She hates everyone. Even if you're giving her stuff. I mean, Dark Elf girls are like the original entitled thought. Oh, yes. Now, see, like with your power, is that something that you can do, is learn things from each other. Like the wizard. You can learn things like alchemy from him. And even Smelly might be able to learn an invisibility spell or something like that if she's adept to it. It all depends on how you want to spend your points later. So, that's going to be an interesting thing. And to be honest, Rachel, I'm going to do your own arc too. But, I've not quite got your villain set ready. It's just many of the people that, we're starting with, just some of them line up so well. But, Dragonfly, she will get her own set of reoccurring villains. Now, yours will be more like you, the flying, light projecting type. But rather than, the destroy city blocks kind. Well, the fun thing is there's going to be stuff for everyone. It's just, certain things come along sooner. And the funny thing is, I was going to do some love arcs, or should I say, possible love arcs. Because once again, it all depends on what you guys want to do, what the dice roll. It's like, I had this plan. You were going to fight Alfarius and Grimgoth again. And then after the fight, that's when the big giant lizard was supposed to fall. But once again, he failed a 14 or less roll. You get 15, 16, 17, 18. But he rolled a 16. It was an easy dice roll and he failed it. So you ended up having to fight them all together. And you still did it. Now, I didn't have him use his lethal things because that sword will cut through anything. Well, good night, Smelly. I'll see you Saturday if you can come. And once again, Saturday night I'll try to have more of a adventure where you have to think a little bit and chase the villains. And my next Alfarius one will probably be silly because once again, Alfarius does stupid things. He's probably going to attack a candy bar factory because he ate a Snickers and it didn't satisfy him. Well, good night, Rachel. Now, see, that's the great thing about this tablet. You know, we've been on here almost 3 hours, and it's still got 27% power. It's just the light's fucked on it, because the room is light. But you see how dark all of this is? But this is what I used to stream on, because it will do a 3-hour stream. And that's what I used to do on my streams that were 3 hours. Well, like I say, we'll have fun, Rachel, and we'll talk some in DM, and out in the middle of the night, I'll think up some interesting things. I came up with some interesting powers last night. It's just, I think this one person's got a little too much damage. Now, I created a person that blows up. And what they do is their power is intangibility, and then they have an explosion power linked to it. So every time that they use their intangibility, they explode and do damage in every direction. And then they reform. And then they blow themselves up again. They are literally a human bombshell. Now, once again, when they reform, you know, before they explode again, you could attack them. So, you know, that's going to be an interesting villain to fight. And I thought about pulling her out. But once again, as I mentioned, she does a lot of damage. I mean, just like a bomb. I mean, she is a living bomb. So, you know, that will be interesting for you to fight at some time. But that's going to be one that you want to fight at a distance. You know, like, throw things at. See, that's going to, unfortunately for Smelly, that's going to be her Achilles heel. You know, these people you can't quite get at. So, at some point, you know, Smelly might need to get something like a blowgun. You know, for someone that she can't quite get at. It's like, if some flaming people, you can buy your killing attack is a damage shield with no range. Always on. Like, you know, the Human Torch, you know, on fire all the time. You know, you can do something like that. And once again, when Smelly runs up against people that you can't hunt, you know, punch or kick, you know, that's going to be a bit of a problem for her. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and let everyone get on with your lives. And I will see you in other chats. And I noticed that I'm doing better during this game. So that tells me that my condition is improving. And thank you, my friends, for coming. And I will see you all Saturday. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to pop on this channel and just roll up some characters or something. And just bullshit with whoever comes. So if you see this live pop up before Saturday, that's what I'm going to do. So, good night, everybody.